Hi, this is Bob Green from nerdbob.com. I would like for you to take a few minutes and reflect on how you display your students' work. Who is the audience for your students' work? What is the feedback process for your students' work? Who gives that feedback? We live in a world now that is more connected to one another than any other time in our history. I am from a somewhat smallish town of Lima, Ohio. Beyond the city limits of Lima, Allen County is home to manufacturing and farmland. It is an area that can easily be described as your name goes a long way in establishing your reputation. I think back to my time in middle school and my 6th grade art teacher going down the list of names on the first day of school, and she gets to Robert Green. She pauses, looks up with a stern face, and asks, "Are you Ronald's offspring?" Ronald being my uncle, but his behavior many years ago when she was a new teacher was cemented in her memory. Thanks, Uncle Ron. In another situation in 8th grade, I had a social studies teacher that my dad had when he was in middle school. I went up to him after class and asked him if he remembered a Bob Green from South Middle School. And he paused and said, "Yes, why?" I said, "Well, I'm his son and he wanted me to pass along a hello." His response was priceless. He says with a straight face, "Well, I guess it's time I put my retirement papers in." I bring up the situation with my dad because he is a great example of a world that we no longer have the luxury of living in. My dad has lived in the same county or next to the county in which he was born his entire life. He did attend OSU Columbus briefly, but ended up graduating from Lima Technical College and Bluffton University. He has had a job that has been in the same county or the adjoining county all of his adult life. He has a cell phone only because his job pays for it. He has come around to texting but still doesn't see the need to get a new phone every 2 years. We have an argument every time when I say I'm upgrading my phone. He goes, "You just got it." He doesn't get Twitter. Tried, just doesn't get it. He doesn't have a website. He always says, "Why would anyone care what I have to say?" My situation is different than his situation, though. I'm living in Columbus, Ohio, which is 90 miles away from the county where I was born and lived for 24 years. My job is based out of Columbus, but I have done work in Toledo, Cleveland, Akron, Columbus, Dayton, and other cities. My contacts in my field of work span the entire state of Ohio and the entire country. I have a blog where I establish my digital footprint. I use social media to further cement that digital footprint. This has helped me distinguish myself among a common name such as Bob Green. So allow me to ask you the question again. How do you display your students' work? Is it through bulletin boards like these? How do your students obtain feedback on their work? How do they establish their digital footprint? Is their digital footprint positive or negative? We need to take the steps within our schools now to establish best practices that position our students with a digital portfolio of work upon graduation and a digital footprint that allows them to stand out from their peers.